It's the Happy Families podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
Welcome to the Happy Families podcast. I'm Justin. I'm here with Kylie, mum to our 6 kids. I'm the author of a whole bunch of books, the co-host of a TV show called Parental Guidance, all about raising kids and a whole lot of other stuff. And today you just happen to have joined the podcast. Maybe you're new here. If you are, you've joined us on one of the most exciting podcasting days in our podcasting history. It might not be exciting for you at all, but it's really exciting for us.
Well, let's just say your tagline just got a bit longer.
My tagline, meaning? All the stuff that I don't want to reveal too much. Okay, so we have some news. We have some really big news. We are the parents, as I mentioned, of 6 children. I nearly said 7 children, but I'm not going to say that we're the parents of 7 children, but we are the parents of 6 kids. Our oldest daughter has been married for what?
Almost 4 years.
Nearly 4 years. Yeah, 4 years in a couple of months' time. And a few weeks ago, she asked if the whole family could get together to have dinner. We said, of course, we love it when the family gets together. So we all got everyone together. And after dinner, we sat around and we played some Pictionary. But there was something going on with the Pictionary game because you decided to set it up rather than playing proper Pictionary. You did a Kylie Coulson Pictionary special. What were the details of that Kylie Coulson Pictionary special, Mrs. Happy Families?
Well, when you play Pictionary, obviously there's usually just a couple of teams and you're playing team against team.
Yep.
And there's only one person drawing. So we thought we'd kind of change it up and we had multiple teams. So there was 4 teams. And
because we have a big family, there was like 3 or 4 people in each team.
4 teams were competing to be the first one to guess the same thing.
Okay, so on each team, one person was the person drawing. All of the drawers got to see the same word, and then they would go to their individual boards and start drawing. And everyone else on their team, the 2 or 3 other people on their team, had to guess, and whichever team was first. And there was a series of themes that remained consistent with every single word that was drawn out. Well,
they were just household items.
They were all just household items. But this is kind of what happened.
Okay, ready, set, go.
The thing that you rest on.
So I should warn you that as we play more audio clips from the next few minutes, it's chaos in our home. We have 6 kids. We've got grandparents there. There's a whole lot of other people who are in our home with us, joining in for what's going to be a really fun Pictionary night. And you can just hear the chaos. You can hear all of that noise.
Well, this is raw. There is no editing here.
Anyway, Ella notices at some point that there's something going on with the words.
Why are we talking about all these amenities and utilities? Amenities and utilities.
Can I have a
Nuffy's face wipes. What's up with this?
I love this. So she's kind of recognised that there is this common theme with all of the words that are coming up. And then one of the other kids says this.
Mummy's got baby fever.
Which led to one of the kids actually accusing me
Being pregnant.
Getting ready to tell us that she's pregnant again.
Are you pregnant, honey?
So this conversation suddenly turns into a big discussion about pregnancy.
And as you can tell, in our house, there's never just one speaker.
We need a talking stick in our home.
Yeah.
So then this happens.
Are you pregnant? Yes. You pregnant? Me? Yes.
So our eldest daughter has made it official.
Jared and I are going to be having a baby.
You're going to be a mom.
In September.
Chaos ensued following her announcement.
I'm going to be an auntie.
Why are you crying, Annie?
So everyone's crying except one of the kids, our 19-year-old, the muso, the one who is so in touch with her feelings.
Why are you
She's crying.
Why are you guys crying? Because I'm going to be in England. Why are you all crying? You're all crying. What the heck?
And in case you were still wondering what the heck is going on right now,
Chaos.
our son-in-law made it extremely clear.
We're having a baby.
One of our kids has always been really soft-hearted. She cries at the drop of a hat. I mean, she's the most emotional kid in a really positive and delightful way most of the time that we have. And as the reality sunk in, this is what happened.
I didn't realize that you were going to be grandparents. It did not click until like 2 seconds ago.
Mummy and I are going to be grandparents.
You're going to be old, Dad. You're officially actually hit the old mark.
What I just loved about this experience was for Annie, it was these incremental aha moments.
Right.
First and foremost, her sister is having a baby,
Yep.
and then she's going to be an auntie.
And we're going to be grandparents.
But then it blew up even further for her when she realised that meant we were going to be grandparents. It was just such a big moment.
So in case this has just been a bit too much, and we apologise if it has been, because our family is a little extra, the short version is we're going to be grandparents.
The short version.
We're going to be grandparents. The news is out. It's official. Our daughter has given us full permission to announce it on the podcast.
Oh, the dog wants to know what's going on.
Do you know what? Something really funny has happened in terms of this whole thing. And Kylie, you'll remember this conversation happening some years ago. I think they'd only just gotten married. And I said to them, what are your plans for a family? I mean, it's your life. It's your decision now. We don't have any say in it, but I'd just love to know, what are you planning? What are you thinking about? And they said, it's going to be a good 4 or 5 years. Well, we'll certainly be waiting before we have any kids. And I kind of breathed a sigh of relief. And I said, that's great, because I want to be 50 or above before you have your first grandchild. Not my business. You have them whenever you want. But and they looked at me funny. And I said, no, let me explain, because I want to be a grandpa who can be available. Like when that kid's big enough to go off to school, I want to ride my bike next to that kid as we ride off to school together. I want to do the school drop off and the pick up, and I want to be that involved grandparent. And I looked at the kids and I just said, and guys, right now there's too much happening with happy families and with books and with TV shows. It's not something that I can really commit to for the next few years. So just take your time. It's okay. Take your time. And they've done okay. They've waited 3 years, and we've still got another 5 years before the school run happens. But when I knew it was going to happen sooner than later, and I was actually dreading it. And I don't really know why, because the minute that we found out, I nearly burst into tears. I can't tell you how absolutely overwhelmingly thrilled and delighted I am to know that we're going to be grandparents, and to know that we're going to have this little baby in our home again that we get to huggle and squeeze and love like crazy. I'm just so indescribably thrilled to find out, even if I'm a bit younger than I wanted to be.
Well, you are being sheltered a little bit, because since Chanel found out that she was pregnant, I have had text messages at 2 a.m. in the morning. I have had 5 a.m. phone calls. She has been on my doorstep at any given moment. I get photos of everything she's eating. I get questions about why her poo looks a certain way. Like I hear
can't believe you shared that.
all.
Right.
I hear it all. But what is so delightful is that she wants me to be a part of that space.
Yeah.
She wants to share all of those moments, all of the changes that she's experiencing. And for anyone who's been pregnant, you know, like it happens in some ways so quickly. And yet a conversation just the other day, she's like, Mum, I feel like I have been pregnant forever.
It's been like 3.5 months. Forever. I can't laugh. I'm the guy. I've never had to worry about this. It's a girl thing. So how are you feeling about it?
I think what I'm most excited about is that Jared and Chanel's relationship has just blossomed and grown, and there is just so much solidarity in their love for each other and their desire to kind of move forward in their family, and that excites me. I'm kind of in awe of being
old enough to be a grandma.
No, of having the privilege of having a front row seat.
Yeah.
As this family grows, and to watch them just love each other. That's what I'm so excited about, is just watching that love.
I just had a thought that I've not had until right this moment. We have 6 kids, 6 daughters. How many grandkids do you reckon we're going to end up with?
I have no idea.
Like we've got the potential to end up being responsible for the global population problems, right? Like, this is huge.
Let's put this in context, because Chanel and Jared have been around us for a long time now, and it actually probably has been a little bit of a birth control.
Right, yeah, with all the kids driving everyone crazy. Clearly it didn't work well enough. What are you most excited about?
I I think I'm just most excited that she wants to include me in the process.
Oh, yeah.
And that I actually get to just be with her side by side. In so many ways, it feels like reliving some of my own experiences, and yet it's an out-of-body experience because it's not mine, it's hers, and it's different. And being able to share with her some of the really hard learned lessons that I learnt way too late and desperately want her to learn now and take care of herself and nurture and support herself and be able to ask for what she needs, because it was something that I really struggled with as a young mum.
What do you think will be the hardest thing?
Watching her hurt. Yeah, watching her go through the hard, because while there's so much beautiful, there is so much hard.
Yeah.
And knowing that while I can support her, the reality is she actually has to go through that hard.
Yeah. But you know what? That's where you grow. That's the good stuff. That's why you're who you are, because of the hard stuff that you've been through. Anyway, that's our announcement. You know what I'm most nervous about? The thing that I think is going to be the hardest? I reckon you can guess what is going to be the hardest for me. You're not going to guess. I thought you would be able to guess that one. No?
I'm more scared of penises, to be honest.
All right.
I haven't had to change one of those nappies.
Well, what I'm most worried about is that I'm going to want to try to be the parenting expert, and we're going to have a son-in-law or a daughter who looks at us and says, would you just stop telling us how to do it and let us figure it out for ourselves? And yet I feel like there's so much at stake, and there's that opportunity to say, hey, we've been there, and I've got a book about that. Oh, and I've got a book about that as well. And look, I've got a book about this. I think that's going to be the hardest thing. I hope that our relationship's such that they're inclined to come and talk with us about things, because it's going to be really hard for me to bite my tongue. I'm just saying. It's really going to be a tough one.
I'm glad you put it out there.
My tongue, so I'll get bitten off. It's a happy day for us, and we're so grateful to be able to share it with you. We hope that you don't mind this moment of self-indulgence on the Happy Families podcast, but we're going to be grandparents. What are you going to be called? Do you know what the grandchild will be calling you?
Well, I know what they're calling you.
What are they calling me?
You're Papa.
I'm Papa.
Yes.
Papa.
As
really, Papa.
Chanel, as a young girl, used to call you Papa Smurf. I don't
She did.
know how it ever started.
I don't either.
But you are still Papa Smurf in her phone.
So I'm going to be, am I really?
You are.
Right, so I'm going to be Papa.
So you're going to be Papa. And I think
Does that mean you'll be Nonna?
No.
I mean, we don't have Italian heritage here.
Our kids' grandparents are Nanny and Poppy.
Yeah, Nan and Pop, yeah.
And I grew up with a Papa and a Nana.
Uh-huh.
But I don't feel like any of those fit me, and I'm not Granny.
Well, I was about to say, that's all we got time for, Grandma.
So I think I'm going to be Mama.
Mama.
Yeah.
Mama.
Because I can't say G.
Okay. All
So
right.
you're going to be Papa, and I think I'm going to be Mama.
Well, we'll find out as things progress. Now we just hope and pray and cross everything that that the pregnancy progresses well, and that we are fortunate enough to have a healthy baby add to our family. Soon it'll be the Happy Families podcast with me, Dr. Justin Coulson, and you, Mrs. Happy Families, the mum to our 6 kids and grandparent to one. How exciting. Thanks so much for listening. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. He really had his work cut out for him, pulling together the audio from the chaos of that announcement. Thank you, JR, for your great work. Our executive producer is Craig Bruce. He's the one who said, make sure you record the announcement. And I don't know if JR likes Craig anymore because of that. If you'd like more information about making your family happier, please visit us at happyfamilies.com.au. Oh, and if you know someone who is expecting, I've written a book. It's called Dad's Guide to Pregnancy for Dummies. This is a book that is now on our son-in-law's bedside table, and I know that they have started reading it together. It's all about pregnancy and labour and how dads can actually be useful during that process. You might want to check it out online, wherever you buy books, or at happyfamilies.com.au.